visa matters that should have been openly debated and ventilated.
The Honourable Leanne Dalzell.
Chairman, the reluctance for the Minister to take a call in response to the wonderful contributions from my colleagues have prompted me to also take the call. But I did actually want to acknowledge something that was chipped across the other side of the House, because I actually think, this is a rare occasion that we have where Tau Henare actually said something that was quite funny. And I'm not usually... I usually don't acknowledge what the member does, but actually he's been at my select committee on the odd occasion and he's behaved in a rather mature and sensible way. So I want to acknowledge the very, very funny statement that I thought he chipped across the House in relation to the Sensible Census Trust, which he felt would be prompted to react to the disgrace of this government passing this bill through all of its stages under urgency. So congratulations to that member for an amusing little aside. But the serious issue that all of the speakers on our side of the House have raised in relation to a bill that has a title, namely the duties of statutory officers. And here we are as parliamentarians with duties to undertake our obligations in a particular way, and they're being completely ignored. And that's why I find the title of the bill somewhat ironic. And the fact that the Act comes into force on the day after the date on which it receives royal assent is equally an issue for me, because this was a bill, as we know, could have been prepared with sufficient time to go to a select committee and to have all manner of individuals contributing to the discussion on it. I have already explained to this House, and I'll explain it again for the member because I know that he's interested in everything that I'm saying and he's hanging off every word. The Regulatory Impact Statement Agency Disclosure Statement was signed on the 6th of April this year. The 6th of April. Well, I'm sorry, but isn't it August now? So how many months is that? April, May, June, July, August. Oh, that's 4 months ago. What has he been doing for 4 months in order to bring this legislation before us? So what I'm saying is that the decision not to hold the census was made in March. It was due to be held on International Women's Day, actually the 8th of March. And it was deferred for a very good reason. We all agree with it being deferred. Of course we couldn't hold it. The Census Office was completely devastated by the earthquake. And so the duties of statutory officers, census officers couldn't be undertaken. So I understand the title of the bill with respect to that element. But I think that we could have had a discussion, a public debate about what the alternative was. Because although the Regulatory Impact Statement talks about 3 options, in fact I think there were only 2. The one that the government's chosen and the other was to defer it altogether so that the next census was held in 2016. And really the Minister hasn't described in detail why that particular option was taken and why this had to be done in this manner so that there was no opportunity for any public debate. And that's why in the previous part of the bill I tried to table a copy of the draft for discussion confidential, not government policy, Sarah residential red zone offers summary of sale process. But now I've downloaded a whole lot of other documents off the New Zealand Law Society website. So perhaps if the government whip would allow me to put my leave again at the end of my contribution, I've got several other documents that are all on the New Zealand Law Society website, none of which have been consulted with any of the people who are going to be receiving offers from the government on the red zone. And I just think it's completely out of order, but actually completely in line with the way that this bill has been approached. This bill is titled The Duties of Statutory Officers. The duty of a government is to consult with affected parties before putting together details of such an agreement. And I think it's a tragedy that this government treats us with such disrespect and doesn't follow their duties as they should otherwise be obliged to do so.
Good speech.
The question is that Clause 1 stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. The question now is that Clause 2 stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. Aye. The ayes have it. I will report this bill without amendment.
The House is resumed. Mr Chairman.
Mr Speaker, the committee has considered the Duties of Statutory Officers, Census and Other Remedial Provisions Bill and reports it without amendment. Mr Speaker, I move that the report be adopted.
The question is that the report be adopted. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. No. The ayes have it. No. Party vote. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
57 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
9 votes in favour.
ACT New Zealand.
5 in favour.
Maori Party.
3 votes in favour.
Progressive.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Mana. The Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote opposed.
Any other votes?
The ayes are 75, the noes are 44. The motion is agreed to. This bill is set down for third reading forthwith. Honourable Morris